Hi, Harvey Elwood, 93.7 FM. Kit Shapiro is here with us all the way from California. Actually, not from Connecticut, actually. We've had the pleasure of talking to her over the telephone. She's the honoree for tonight, and of course, we're going to be celebrating the life of Eartha Kitt, who actually is from the town of North. And so we're so glad that you're here. And next to you, another beautiful, tall, good-looking lady is the Mayor Carson, here in North South Carolina. How are you guys doing?
Very good. Thank you for being here this evening. It should be a tremendous event.
Tell us about the brainchild of how all this came about.
Kit and I had a couple of phone conversations, and it was her idea that we have a fundraiser in honor and in memory of her mother. And so the proceeds from this evening will go to our local cooperative ministry.
Very good. Now, you're the brainchild. Tell us about it, if you will.
Brainchild. Well, I felt it was really important after Representative Gilda Cobb Hunter had tirelessly worked to get the bill passed to commemorate January 17th as Eartha Kitt Day in the state of South Carolina, that we really start this Eartha Kitt Day celebration with this year, which would have been my mother's 90th birthday.
Wow.
Back in the town that she's from, and to go back to the community. My mother always said that she was of the earth, and that earth was in South Carolina, and she talked about it constantly throughout her life. She never forgot those roots that were here. So I felt it was really, really important to come back here and to come full circle back to where it all began.
Quick question for our audience. The first conversation we had was over the radio, but now that you're here, why are you not in the movies?
Well, I think to a certain extent, I'm an only child.
Right.
I worked for my mother. I worked for Eartha Kitt Productions my entire life. We made a really good team where I was the business part.
Because I can see you in front of a camera always.
Well, you know what? It's never too late.
This is and the room is filling up with an awful lot of people from all over. And it's so important that someone considers a little town like this. And such greatness came from this town. Eartha Kitt, world-renowned, Paris, France, you name it, all over the world. World-renowned France and Spain and everywhere else. She led a fascinating life. And so good of you to remember this and to come back and you guys to make this thing happen.
It's so important. I think, so often people go on and they forget where they come from, or they just mention I'm from this state. But, these are small towns that are long forgotten and are struggling, and people, really, really good, wonderful, kind people. And it's really, I think, wonderful to remind everybody that, all these little towns, this is what our country was made of. All these people, working people, made this country what it is today. And my mother always, always said that. So to come back and to shed a little bit of light, as much as I can, on this town is just, I feel, such important and such an honor.
We thank you. Anything else you want to add to that?
We're honored to have Kit and her husband here this evening from Connecticut, and I appreciate their coming.
Well, thank you, Mayor Carson. I appreciate all that you have done, really.
You're very welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, again, we're here in North, the town of North. We've got Kit Shapiro, the daughter of Eartha Kitt, and of course Mayor Carson, and a fantastic evening that we're having. We've got food, we've got fun, we've got fellowship, all in the name of raising money for the cooperative ministries that's giving back to the community and helping those who are in need.
I'm starstruck. But I really would love to know, how do you, deal with comparisons to you and your mother? I would love to hear, I know we don't have time to tell it all, but I'd love to just hear, some stories about maybe how people compare you to her and they say, well, are you in show business? Do you sing, dance, act? So
well, my mother named me Kit. She gave me her name, and she would often say, I'm Eartha and this is Kit, as if I completed her. And I think in many ways I did complete her. I'm an only child, and it was really the two of us, growing up. My mother said we grew each other up. And so people, obviously, the obvious comparison is that, people, when they look at me, they're like, well, how could you be her daughter? You're too light-skinned. But then when they see me and I guess my mannerisms, they realize that I am actually my mother's daughter, very much so my mother's daughter. And my mother loved the fact that she gave birth to this mutt. She would say to me, you're a walking United Nations. You either break every rule or fill every quota.
Oh, wonderful.
And that was really important to her, to be able to not fit in to any stereotypes or any box. You couldn't necessarily just check one box. Maybe you had to check them all or check none of them, because she felt that we were all human beings first, and that was the most important thing. So the comparisons have always been, you don't have a nice voice like your mother.
Have you ever tried to sing?
I think I deliberately stayed away from from competing with her because I knew how hard it is to compete with a mother. But you know, we had such an amazing relationship because I worked for Eartha Kitt Productions and we traveled together, and I managed her production team and her company. And so we were always together, and I think we balanced each other out really, really well. And I did really well with the business side and the back end, and she did the talent stuff, you know, in front of the camera and on the stage. So it was a really good partnership, and I was blessed in so many ways to have had her as a mother. She was an amazing, amazing woman, an amazing mother, amazing teacher. And I'm so grateful that I knew this while she was alive and was appreciative of who she was during her life. And now that she has passed, it's been 8 years. This January 17th would be her 90th birthday. So I have come back to the town of North, South Carolina, back to her roots, back to the earth that she came from. Her name was Eartha. She truly was of the earth, and she always spoke about how she was a cotton picker from the South. And that earth, the soil that is here, is what made her who she became. And so I felt it was really, really important to come back and to thank the people of this town, to give back to the people of this town. Tonight will benefit the Cooperative Ministries of North. And it's a wonderful, wonderful feeling to go back to a place where knowing my mother's roots were, and knowing that there are people here who knew her when she was, you know, a baby, and to come full circle. So that's what tonight is all about.
Wonderful. Now, have you visited the family home where she grew up in Pink?
We were never able to know exactly what home it was, so we never, unfortunately, didn't get that. But we were able to go to this general vicinity of the area, and I think we, you know, my mother, when she was alive, we were, you know, she kind of would walk around, and she got a real sense of the memories, which were hard for her. They were hard memories for her, but they were real, and they made her who she was, and she understood that, and so she never ran from them, even though sometimes it was really hard for her to be here, and I think to come back here, I think it was very intense, but she never forgot it. She never forgot it.
Celebrating the life of Eartha Kitt. And of course, Brenda Williams from the Regional Medical Center is here. Tell us why you're here, Brenda. Tell us how this is important to you.
It's very important for me to be here because Eartha Kitt, national icon from North South Carolina. We've been so proud of her, and it's just an honor that finally she's getting some recognition.
Fantastic. And this is one of our organizers. Give us your name and tell us who you are and how important this is to you.
All right. I'm Pastor Gerald E. Sanders, pastor of the Antioch Missionary Baptist Church in the Sawyerdale area of the North Community. And I tell you, I'm very elated in this event. We worked hard in bringing this to fruition, and we just give God all the praise for our mayor, Ms. Shapiro, and thinking so much of us that to come and help us to not only fundraise, but bring awareness to all the attributes that her mother has brought years ago. And we're just so elated that we're doing this right here in the North community. It's a great day.
Now, young man, you come on over here. Switch places, if you will, with the pastor. Brenda, thank you so much. Now, I want you to stay, Pastor. Tell us, you are young. Now, tell us your age, first of all.
I'm 47.
But you know something about Eartha Kitt and her family, and I want you to relate that history, if you will.
Eartha Kitt is my grandmother's niece, and my grandmother was the one that raised Eartha after her mother passed.
What's the name? Give us the name.
My grandmother's name is Almeda Kitt, and she sent Eartha off after her mother died, and after she raised her, and there's a story behind that, and because of the reason why she had Eartha. So when she sent Eartha off to live with Eartha's sister, who now resides in Maryland.
And Eartha's sister's name was?
Minnie Pearl.
Minnie Pearl.
Yeah.
And she lived in Harlem, New York, is that right?
At the time.
116th Street?
At the time, but now she resides in Maryland.
Right, but historically, so we're trying to get the history of it down.
Yeah.
So it was historically, it was in Harlem, New York.
It was in Harlem, New York.
And then, of course, later on,
Yeah.
Eartha Kitt became a big national star.
Moved from there,
California.
California is the place she ought to be.
Right.
So she loaded up, and I guess she moved to Beverly. I guess that's that.
Well, thank you very much. That's very important for our viewers to understand the history. And we know you're going to be doing some big business here in Orangeburg as well.
Yes, sir.
We congratulate you on that. We wish you much continued success.
Thank you, man. Thank you, Harvey.
All right.
Thank you for everything.
All right. Of course. Pastor, any other words you want to add about the event?
Well, we just thank God for this opportunity and bringing the awareness to the public and to many that didn't know much about Eartha Kitt, and knowing that she is a product of the North community right here in South Carolina. And most importantly, what I like about her story and her history is that she didn't give up. She continued to thrust towards her stardom, and through all of the trials of ups and downs, she continued to push on until she made it, and to God be the glory. We know the rest of the story.
Ladies and gentlemen, 93.7 FM, we're right here in the town of North for a big celebration celebrating the life of Eartha Kitt. I had to go grab and Miss Kitt Shapiro and bring her back here. Russell Ott, state representative, he helped Gil LaCobb Hunter sponsor the legislation to recognize Eartha Kitt Day, which of course the first one is this year, actually, January 17th. Of course, this is the 14th, but nonetheless, it's all within the whole weekend experience. Tell us about the importance of the legislation, if you will.
Well, I appreciate you offering me some credit, Harvey, but Gilda certainly was the one that started this some number of years ago and continued to push it, and she never gave up. And it was just a very proud moment to be able last year to kind of see that legislation cross the finish line on behalf of, the town of North and your mother and what she means to this area. It was great to see all of that come together, and we were very proud.
What do you say to Russell Ott, this young man here? He's being very modest. He's been a champion of this community, I promise you. No, regardless of what people look like or who they are, he's been a champion. And he was someone that your mother would have been very proud of, representing this community.
Well, my mother would always say, we are human beings first and foremost, and if we don't work together as a team, then we're not going to be able to accomplish anything. And so that was really, really important of who she was and how she dealt with people. So I thank you, Russell, and Representative Cobb Hunter, and getting this bill passed, because it brings attention to these small areas and these towns that built the foundation of what this country is made of.
Thank you both once again. Thank you so much. Thank you. The pastor of First Baptist Church, you're going to tell us your name and tell us about tonight's occasion, if you will.
I'm Rick Jones, and our fundraiser tonight is to benefit the Cooperative Ministries of North. And the Cooperative Ministries of North help people with power bills and medicines and food and other things. And this is we got in conjunction with the Eartha Kitt celebration that the state has established, and we're having a silent auction, a good dinner, and just a celebration of her. But at the same time, it is a fundraiser for a cooperative ministry, and we're excited about it and the prospects of what we'll be able to do to help people in our community.
And the cooperative ministries is a conglomeration of a whole lot of different churches that have come together.
Yeah. There's about 30 churches in the area, and most of them participate in the cooperative ministry, and we just combine our resources and our efforts to try to do as much as we can for the community.
Very good. Fantastic. Well, I hope you enjoy your evening, and I hope that our audience enjoys all of that they're going to witness. This is Harvey Elwood with 93.7 FM, and we're right side in the town of North South Carolina, getting ready to have a wonderful event in celebration of Eartha Kitt. Cooperative Ministries is involved, sponsoring this wonderful fundraiser for the town of North and the people that are in need, which is a wonderful thing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.